listening to RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network.
Stepping up a ring and onto the mic. Golden locks, throwing shades on tight. I rule the airwaves, I own the night. Crank up the volume, feel the heat down. Turn up the dial, let me preach. Running this town with a steel cake smile. When the bell rings, I do it with style. On the morn of Saturday night, one hair thunder, taking the mic. Bodies tell the truth, no fear, no fight. Bow down, cause I rule tonight. Taking the mic, bodies said the truth, no fear, no fright. Bow down, cause I rule tonight.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to RAWF After Hours on the RAWF Radio Network. I am your host, the one and only Lord Amadeus, president and owner of RAWF and the game we all know and love as Wrestler Unstoppable. Joining me, several people joining me this evening. Let's start with the usual co-host with the most. He is the one and only
¡Hola, muchachos! ¡Hola, muchachos!
He is the one and only El Vacant. Hola, El Vacant.
Hola, muchachos. ¿Cómo está?
How you like your new music?
I like it. It's very traditional. I like it.
I thought you'd like that. All right. And also joining me this evening, a couple of other folks. Let's bring on, first of all, the reigning RAWF World Heavyweight Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome.
Once upon a time, an abomination. He walked on water and he conquered nations. Could have ruled forever, but he lost his patience. Look at me now, paragon of greatness. First of the fallen and last of the old gods. No use fighting because you can't beat those cold odds. Beginning of time and the end of days. Civilizations crumble under his gaze. Alpha and Omega, the wrath of the God King. Paragon of greatness about to pin you in that ring. Once upon a time, an abomination. He walked on water and he conquered nations. Could have ruled forever, but he lost his patience. Look at me now, paragon of greatness. Eons ago, before time existed, they lived in the heavens and the rain persisted.
Good evening, Paragon. Paragon of greatness, ladies and gentlemen.
Hola, muchachos.
¿Cómo está?
Más o menos. How are we doing, everybody?
I'm doing fine. How are you? And how you getting ready for Thanksgiving?
I mean, you mean the annual pickle fest? Absolutely. You got to get the giant pickle, put it in the middle of the table, put the stuffing in it, carve off the pickle leg.
I'm not sure he actually knows what a pickle is.
Moving right along, also joining us this evening, the lovely and talented
Roślina biobroniczna hästnäs. Ta do färden annar i vägen som babet. Ta det bra i rätt
gentlemen, she is the first class lass, the one and only Maeve O'Hare. Good evening, Maeve.
Good evening, boss man. Good evening, vacant.
Oh, hi.
Good evening, Mokorkra.
Maeve.
That was not polite.
Oh, goodness. Goodness. Well, how are you this evening, Maeve?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm feeling pretty good about myself, finding out that I know more about Thanksgiving than this one does.
That's because you like potatoes.
I do love potatoes. It's true.
You
It's
don't carve
It's a stereotype, but it's true.
you don't carve the potatoes, do you?
No, you boil
Or
them, you mash them, you stick them in a stew.
No, she's Irish. They carve turnips.
We do.
all right. Well, good. That's awesome. So, everybody, first of all, I want to get this out of the way, although I will try to remember to say it again later in the program. There will be no show next weekend for Thanksgiving weekend. The first Thanksgiving weekend we have never had a show in this history. As a matter of fact, it's sometimes, most of the time, we have it on Friday for Black Friday. Unfortunately, we are going to miss Black Friday for the first time in RAWF history. Tonight, we will talk a lot about Black Fridays of past, of yore, if you will. But first off, let's update everybody. So, just in case you haven't been aware, there has been a tournament going on in the RAWF Discord. And I believe the finalist is down to the final match. It is Chris Cage versus Hotshot Chaz in that final match. So if you guys uh, haven't been paying attention, it's been they were able to role play for points, and the rules are set in the scene. So. But right now, Hotshot Chaz versus Chris Cage in the finals of the Discord tournament. Anyone want to make a prediction on that match?
Me.
Go ahead.
No, that's my prediction.
You can't. You're not in the match.
Never stopped me before.
But it ain't for a title.
Oh, well, never mind.
It's for a free promo pick. I will make someone an animated promo pick for their either Chaz or Chris Cage will get one. But any thoughts on that match, Chris Cage versus Hotshot Chaz?
I'm gonna lean towards Senior Cage.
All right. Why is that?
By the nature of how these matches are decided, I think he just has an advantage.
Okay. I mean, could be.
I.e., he can't shut up even when it helps him.
Let me take a look here.
That's the thing about my bestie. He is an absolutely phenomenal storyteller. Obviously, that weighs in heavily in this type of match and situation. But the thing about Chris Cage is no matter how psychopathic he gets, how stabby he is, he always has a soft spot for Hotshot Chaz and wants to see Chaz succeed. Even when they're at each other's throats and they're trying to kill each other, Chris Cage sets up scenarios for Hotshot Chaz to succeed because there's that subconscious level. Even at his worst, he knows that Chaz is his anchor, and I think that could play into effect here in this match because this is an important match. This is a bragging right thing that you can have forever. Given that the nature of how this tournament has unfolded, how it's a unique thing that we're still doing in the early phases, and I think that there's a part of Chris Cage that would love to see Hotshot Chaz have that badge of honor, and I think that could hold him back from being the best version of himself in this match.
All right. I tend to agree with that, actually. Maeve, what did you have an opinion on this?
I mean, I've got lots of opinions on it, but I think what it comes down to is I'd feel awful silly if Chris Cage goes on and doesn't win this after he beat me, so I guess I want him to win.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. So that is, I think it's Chris Cage's the win here. So we shall see. They have until 11 o'clock, but I do believe they both promoed for it. So uh, I believe the results should be coming uh, in the next couple of days. So we shall see who wins the RAWF Discord tournament, run by, of course, the ever incredible Unstoppable. All right. So, a couple weeks ago, we did the whole trivia thing. Learned some things from it. Today, it's going to be a little different, although I did not get time to make graphics for it. And I will give everyone give everyone 2 weeks to answer the trivia. Uh, that way we can 2 weeks from tonight. You have until probably, I'll say, Saturday, an hour before the show. So 2 weeks from tonight, an hour before the show, which will be 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How's that sound, everybody?
Are you going to
Perfect.
be reading the questions here, even though you've got the form up?
Yes, as a matter of fact, well, what I'm going
What I
to,
was thinking is, since you don't have graphics, you could share your screen and show the
that's
form.
where I was going. That is indeed where I am going. So let's go ahead and take a look. Hopefully everybody can see. All right, so this is the RAWF Black Friday trivia. The theme for tonight's trivia is Black Friday. So 10 questions. We will get, like I said, you have two. We'll keep spamming the link to the thing for the next couple of weeks so that everyone has an opportunity. Even if you didn't listen, maybe you can just get in here and give it a shot. So, which of the following wrestlers have never main evented Black Friday? Mithras, the Paragon of Greatness, the Great Red Dragon, Raven the Enchanted, or Chris Cage? And which one has never? Which one of those never main evented Black Friday? Black Friday is always held in what legendary venue? Is it the TD Garden in Boston? Is it Madison Square Garden? Is it the Superdome? Is it the Rocket Arena in Cleveland, or is it none of the above? Which of the following matchups is the only one to have main evented two Black Fridays? Was it the Paragon of Greatness versus Killin' Neptune? Nightcrawler versus Lady Vex? Mithras versus the Immortal Griffith? The Immortal Griffith versus Simply the Best? Or Claymore versus Lady Vex? One of those five choices main evented two different Black Fridays. The first two Black Fridays, the very first in RAWF history, featured a what in the main event? Was it a Hell in the Cell, an Elimination Chamber, a candy cane on a pole? Was it Fubar City Street Fight, or was it a high voltage steel cage match? Who walked out of Black Friday 2020 with the World Men's Hatfield McCoy and White Lightning titles? Was it Mithras the Title Machine? Was it the Immortal Griffith? Was it Deez? Was it Chris Cage? Or was it Claymore? Why is that even there? Oh well. Who is the only woman to walk out of a Black Friday the Triple Crown champion? Was it Lady Vex? Was it Wildfire? Was it the Cougar? Was it Justine Just Ice? Actually, that should be Jasmine Just Ice. But I'll edit that. Or was it DW? Which of these matchups for the national title never occurred at Black Friday? Lady Vex versus Revenge, Paragon of Greatness versus Boney, Chris Cage versus Claymore, Dire Pain versus Raven the Enchanted, or Diesel Warrior versus Hobo Ezekiel? Who is the only person to ever win a Powerball title at Black Friday? Was it Killin' Neptune, Boney, Vagina Muscles, Mithras, or Teflon Chic? How many RAWF Black Fridays have we had? Have happened? Is it 9, 10, 11, 12, or 13? And then finally, which of these wrestlers did not win a Midnight Hobo Championship at Black Friday? Was it Money Sue, Mithras, Denzel the Giant, Maeve O'Hare, or Chris Cage? All right, that is the trivia contest for the next couple of weeks. We will announce the answers 2 weeks from tonight.
This means no whinging that you didn't get to do it right away.
Exactly. All right.
Who would do something like that?
I can't imagine.
Anyways, is that... There we go. Get that back up. All right. So, do we have an Unstoppable update tonight? Has anyone heard from Will COO? Anybody? Will,
Hold
are
on,
you
I
there?
think I know where he is.
Okay, see if you can find him.
What? I was napping.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, sorry about that. Well, I didn't mean to wake you up, but we kind of. Is there any news you can tell us on the possible timetable for Return of Unstoppable?
A little. So as I had said last, we talked about this, and as an update, we'd contracted out the developers. We're doing all that stuff. There was an unexpected delay thanks to the banks. The banks decided that the wire to get the work started was going to get lost in the ether, and it took us like almost 2 weeks to get that back and then sent correctly out. So I expect on Monday I will get the official timeline from the developers now that that's all been fixed. I've got my fingers crossed that on Monday that will happen. But I've spent the last week and a half, 2 weeks yelling at banks.
Oh, that's always fun. That's the holiday spirit right there, yelling at banks. That's a holiday tradition, isn't it?
Probably.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate the update, Will. You can go back to sleep now. Appreciate it.
Good. I'm tired.
I bet
Yelling
you
at
are.
banks takes a lot out of you.
All right. So that update from Will, the COO of Sports Unstoppable. Appreciate that, Will. All right. Let's might as well bring. We got one other. Let's bring in to join us.
From shadows deep, he rises, a warrior born of fate. We're stealing his eyes. The tempest shall not wait. Memento mori, the call echoes through the night. His spirit will not fall. Ready for the fight. Griffin Davian, the immortal one, eternal champion. His war's never done.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's been around since the first Thanksgiving. He is the immortal Griffith. Good evening, Griffith.
Good evening, Lord Amadeus.
So did you come over on the Mayflower?
We will not discuss how I got here.
I mean,
But Bossman, I want you to think about the question you just asked him. You just asked English if he were a Puritan.
You did.
Sounds
did.
about right to me.
what does cooking oil have to do with this?
I would never be caught dead in the outfits they wore. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, you could have been a stylish pilgrim.
There's no such thing.
That is an oxymoron. That's not a thing that ever existed.
What'd you call me?
So many things. Would you like to boil it down?
All right. So at any rate, so as obviously, Griffith is the first year that we have not been able to have a Black Friday. We're gonna have Thanksgiving off. Although I still think we should have a float in the Macy's parade. What do you guys think? Anybody want to volunteer?
As long as it doesn't upstage Derpy Tiger's new balloon, we're good.
Who?
The blue Derpy Tiger. Did you not see K-pop Demon Hunters? Like, it's the hottest thing there is right now. Paragon, you got some, right? You can help me here.
I feel like the term "derpy tiger" is pretty self-explanatory.
It's what it says on the tin. So it's a tiger, and he's derpy, and as English indicated, he's also blue.
He's from like the hottest movie out right now on Netflix, K-pop Demon Hunters. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm waiting for you to speak English. That's what I'm waiting. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Bet you may have seen it.
That's not even a fair bet. You took me to see it.
Shh.
But to answer the question, Amadeus, about a float, it's times like this I really miss one Judgment J Esquire, because you know that he would have put some absolute spectacle into that. But it's RAWF tradition. How could we not? You know?
Right, but he'd pop the Derpy Tiger in the process.
If not, try to ride it.
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah.
Okay. I'll just have to take everyone's word for it, I suppose.
Well, what sort of float would you like us to put together, Bossman?
You've seen the floats in the parade. Something really cool, like a wrestling ring. Put a wrestling ring in there. Maybe we could have a couple matches going down the street. I think that'd be cool. What does anyone think? Yes.
As long as the pickle mobile is not involved, I'm happy.
Oh, that's a great idea.
No. Put that pin down. Put the pin down, Amadeus. Nope.
What?
I mean, it's not a horrible plan.
Why do I give them these horrible ideas?
I don't know. Why do you give us these horrible ideas, Mokorkra?
I mean, and of course, we've got to have. There is one thing we always got to have in the parade. Can we go get it? Here a second.
No.
No?
Nope. Hate this. Absolutely
Why?
hate this.
They were a hit last year.
Nope.
What is he playing?
The amount of Killer Neptunes in the world at one is already far too many. We do not need a marching procession of Killer Neptunes. Thank you very much. I will pass.
That's an underwater saxophone.
Oh, is that what they look like underwater? Okay.
That's what they look. Yes,
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
You're the musician here.
Yeah. I don't know. And
Mm-mm. Nope. What? I'm beginning to regret showing up to After Hours today.
No, you're not. You know you love it.
All right, let me get
Also,
that.
there's a link in chat about the tiger if you need to see it.
Which one's gonna haunt your nightmares, Sibel? The Killer Neptune marching band or the Derpy Tiger?
Oh
So
shoot!
Sibel's going to be having nightmares of Killer Neptune riding on Derpy Tiger playing his underwater saxophone.
I would have thought the three-eyed pigeon would have been the thing that gave people nightmares, but no, it's the tiger.
At any rate, I'll get that off of your screen for everybody.
Thank you.
Oh shoot! Come on, that was funny. Everybody.
Nope, sure wasn't.
I thought it were funny.
So let's go back and take a look at all of the Black Friday promotional, well, not promotion, the logos over the years. That one was the very first one. A little psychedelic there.
It's making me a bit dizzy.
That looks like it would have been an album cover for the Killers.
That was way back in
Also,
2013.
if you look at it for too long, it starts to move.
Yeah,
yes, it does.
I don't like that.
Back in the day, I thought that was cool. Now it gives me a migraine.
Speaking of giving you nightmares,
That was 20.
warn somebody before you jump scare them like that. Good lord.
Wait, is that because of the Misfits?
I don't actually remember.
So I was going to say, is that Shifty or Aggie?
Oh, Disco Skull. I like that.
That was 2015.
I have one of those in my house.
And then, what's we got here? 2016.
You got one of those in your house too, English?
A few, actually.
2017. That one's interesting. Then we got 2018.
Speaking of looking like an album cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2019.
Now we're hallucinating belts.
That looks like it should have been like the front page of a comic book.
That still looks good. They get better because I got better with making them over the years.
And
that looks like the beginning of a horror movie.
What you gotta love with something like we're looking at all of these posters for Black Friday is there's a specific aesthetic because it is Black Friday. We've got this kind of black and white theme with all of them, and you gotta love to have like a color palette and a theme associated with a pay-per-view that like instantly snaps that in your brain. You're like, oh, this is a Black Friday. Like it takes you back to the events because you know the aesthetic of what this pay-per-view looks like.
Yeah, I agree. And this was always an easy pay-per-view to make graphics for because that was 2022. My first attempt at animation. 2023.
Now we're getting back into the optical illusions.
And then finally last year, 2024.
I like that one a lot.
That was my first.
It's very 28 days later.
Yes, it is. I was quite pleased with that one. So there's been, and it's been around since the beginning of RAWF, so it was a staple that we're going to miss out on this year. But Does anybody have any memories of Black Friday that they remember and want to care to share?
It would be a hell of a memory if I didn't remember it.
I remember last year's Black Friday very well, Maeve.
I
Do you?
reckon you would.
Yeah.
It was certainly one of the times of my life. I'll say that much. I I don't remember as much of it as maybe I should. But it were certainly interesting.
Yeah, it's always been an interesting pay view. And as far as that is, I always love being in New York on Thanksgiving weekend just because it's so crazy with the parade.
It is very busy on that weekend.
Yeah,
And
always.
I have a particular fondness for Black Friday 2017 because that's kind of one of the first big RAWF pay-per-views I remember of, like, after joining this company and really trying to take things seriously. And I remember, like, I still remember, like, the the kind of butterflies that one might feel when they're trying to prove themselves, and you're like, realize this is a big event, this is a moment to make a mark, kind of event.
And you had and on that 2017 Black Friday, you had three big matches. I mean,
Did
two of
Immortal
them.
Greatness happen there? I don't recall.
No, it was not. It was not.
Look, it's
Immortal.
hard to tell. Like, you literally you could just pick out of a hat any pay per view, and there's a strong chance that it did happen at that event.
Right. No, agreed. I do agree with that. But yeah, that night Paragon defended the World Heavyweight Championship and the Men's Championship and challenged for the All Stars Championship, which was a thing. Uh, it's a thing back in the day.
Hey, now get your game on.
Kill. He took on his brother Killer Neptune and successfully defended the Men's Championship against him. One of your many wins over Killer Neptune on pay-per-view, Paragon.
That's one of the few solace that I can take, knowing that we're still in this nebulous place with Unstoppable. We don't know what's going on, and my last significant RAWF televised match that was finished was a loss to Killer Neptune, something that I will never ever live down. But at least I can take solace in the fact that I whipped that fish's ass at every pay-per-view encounter that we had. There's no accusations that could possibly fly that Paragon of Greatness took it easy on his brother to let him succeed. Absolutely not. I beat the shit out of Killer Neptune every single chance I got.
And also a lot. But you also took a couple of losses on that, including to Uncle Frank on that All Stars champion. You challenged for the All Stars. Uncle Frank, another paper, even though he hasn't been around in a while, still one of your toughest opponents to date.
Look, there's a reason why I talk about my record against Killer Neptune and not my record against Uncle Frank. I don't want to talk about Uncle Frank.
No one really does.
Stares in Immortal 6, losing the World Heavyweight Championship to Uncle Frank in the main event, setting a tone that would last for so many years, where Paragon of Greatness makes it to the main event of Immortal only to lose. So many times has that happened.
It's like the anti-streak.
Now, here's a name I don't remember, but apparently this person beat you for the Platinum Dragon Championship, Griff, at this first Black Friday. Jimmy Mortis? Does anybody remember a Jimmy Mortis?
I do.
Huh?
I do.
You do? You remember this person?
I wonder why Griff might remember that person.
Am I missing something? Am I forgetting something? I forgot.
Well, I mean, you just said he beat him for the Platinum Dragon Championship. That would be the reason why.
That would be the reason why.
Is that the only reason you remember?
No, Jimmy Mortis was connected to a misfit.
Ah, gotcha.
Wasn't a
Gotcha.
misfit, but was very close with a misfit.
Alec Remington versus Wild Eyed Yenny in a national title match. There's a couple of blasts from the past, as well as Davila defending the Estrogen Championship against Jasmine Just Ice. The mighty Vuvuzela was Varsity champion going into Black Friday,
Yep.
and was dethroned by Killer Neptune that night. Mithras, and I'm sure this was in the middle of one of his epic title reigns, with that Midnight Hobo title, defended it against Knox Boogie that night. John the Revelator, good old John the Revelator, was Triple Crown champion, defending against Sweet Haven Slasher and Bruce the Shark that night. D-Train, everybody remember D-Train? He was multimedia champion, and he successfully defended the multimedia title against Adam Death Row Bordello. Anyone remember Adam Bordello? I vaguely remember this person.
You see, I just kind of have to ignore it anytime you ask a question. Does anybody remember blank? It's like, yes, of course I do.
Johnny Platinum was Powerball champion, defended against Mark Caliber. So yeah, El Vacant, you had a match that night as well. Do you recall your opponent on that fine evening?
What year?
2018.
Was it you?
No.
I haven't had that many fights at pay-per-views. No clue.
V Dizzle.
I fought V Dizzle. I don't even remember that, but okay.
You fought V Dizzle that night. Your boy Blaze McCoy went 1-on-1 with Fire Chief Bill as well that night. So.
You brought up that name, Johnny Platinum. That guy was possibly one of the all-time what could have been stories on RAWF. The man had the proper build-up to stardom, got right to the top of the card, was about to have the breakout as a main eventer. Unfortunately, life has a weird way of breaking things down on us, and Johnny kind of disappeared after main eventing Immortal 5, but one of the all-time tales of what could have been in RAWF, I think, is Johnny Platinum.
Agreed.
I can't argue with that. Definitely can't argue with that. Let's take a look at 2019 and what all went down on 20. Uncle Frank was world champion. He successfully defended the title against Pennywise. Pennywise is another one who he was only in for maybe a cup of coffee, but when he was in there, he was extremely competitive with Pennywise. And I was very sad. I was very sad that he didn't get an opportunity to go further. But this was his opportunity that night at Black Friday to make his mark. And
unfortunately, would have run up against Uncle Frank during that 2019 reign of terror, where Frank was just unstoppable for a while, like 300 plus day reigns with the FUBAR and White Lightning championships, getting number one rankings left and right. Something special was going on with Uncle Frank for a period, that period of time that was never before or never after that. I don't know what it was in the water for Uncle Frank during that time, but the man was unstoppable during that period.
Yeah, especially not only was he world champion, he was FUBAR City champion, and we all know that he had a hell of a reign with that FUBAR City championship. And on this night, he successfully defended it against. I'm guessing this is Nightcrawler. I've got it down as NC669. I'm pretty sure that's Nightcrawler though. So we'll go with that. But Cassie Joe, if everyone remembers Cassie Joe. She walked out of this pay-per-view with both the national and estrogen titles, defeating Pennywise for the national and defeating Bubs for the estrogen. So Cassie Joe had herself a night.
Cassie Joe, one of those people in RAWF that always had this presence where you would kind of float around the mid tier most of the time, but had a ceiling where she could beat anyone on any given night if she was properly focused, and that always kind of made for an unpredictable and dangerous situation whenever she showed up at a pay-per-view.
Agreed. Agreed. I can't argue with that. I was sad when she had to retire, but and nothing's ever definitive in this business. We shall see if that maybe someday we get to see Cassie Joe return. Hobo Ezekiel was Triple Crown champion. I'm sure this is one of his earliest title reigns, but he did lose that title that night as Davila defeated Hobo and John Taylor to become Triple Crown champion. Paragon, you were multimedia champion, and do you remember who your opponent was that night?
I don't, actually.
It was the Teflon Sheik.
Why would you do this to me? There might be a reason I didn't remember that. I could have blocked that from my memory.
Oh, shoot. Killer Neptune was Powerball champion, retained against Pennywise. This was not Pennywise's night. 0-3 in big matches at this pay-per-view. I guess maybe after a performance like that, no wonder why he disappeared soon after. But Dungeons and Dragons were tag team champions at the time, and they retained against a team named Manslaughter. I don't remember who that was, but
I would have to assume that was during
It was
Pete's.
Mandevil and somebody.
Given that I had fought Teflon Sheik at that pay-per-view, I would have to assume that was during peak era Swords and Scimitars. Myself and Knox Boogie, we kind of float around the tag team division, keeping the gate and whatnot. But when we really shine, when we go for those titles, win titles and start doing our thing, it's generally when there's somebody in the division we perceive as a bit of a problem for the company or a threat to the continuity of everybody having a good time. I would have to assume that this was peak Dungeons and Dragons trying to fight off Swords and Scimitars era.
could very well be. And Sheik was Sheik was also he won the White Lightning Championship from Alistair Fiend that night, aka AF James. Dees won the Champions Choice Championship from Simply the Best, one of the rare Champions Choice title switches. And Sai actually had a match that night, undercard Fubar City Street Fight that she lost to Raven the Enchanted. So, Sai, we get there's a little Black Friday history for you. At any rate, so yes, Black Friday was quite the night. Every year, looked forward to it actually because it's just kind of became a part of my Thanksgiving tradition, and this year, well, I get to relax a little more at Thanksgiving. Well, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do for Thanksgiving, to be honest with you.
It does feel different this year for most people, and Amadeus, I do not envy you. The Thanksgiving season is upon us. The pay-per-views not happening. That's part of the tradition, and here you are trying to keep the season alive, talking on a show with 3 non-Americans.
Indeed.
Actually.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, El Vacant. I generally don't count you because you are the empty space.
I can't even argue. All right.
All right. Well, at any rate, that is about all I've got really to talk about Black Friday. Unless anybody else had anything they wanted to discuss, any favorite Black Friday moments or memories, or anybody? Anybody?
Look, you'd expect me to remember when I fought who when. Like, that's when have I ever been able to do that?
Yeah. Fair
I don't
enough.
even think you said my name during that whole thing. So I'm wondering, like, did I have a match? Like,
You did. Remember we talked about you losing the title to Jimmy Mortis.
oh, right. We did talk about that earlier. You're right. That's Diamond Dragon. I remember who he is, but I tried to put the loss out of my head. See how quickly I can do it.
At any rate,
I still think there's more going into your tea than you're letting on, Sibel. It might have something to do with the memory loss.
at any rate, I hope everybody has a safe and happy Thanksgiving. I know not everybody here celebrates Thanksgiving this weekend. I know Canada. I think Canada's Thanksgiving was what, a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
Last month.
Yeah, last month. And but they do celebrate it. When do they celebrate it in Ireland? Is it going to be on Thursday?
We don't do Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I said it in the chat a minute ago, but I think that it does bear repeating out loud, though. Yeah, it's true. Technically, a lot of us here don't celebrate the American Thanksgiving traditionally, but it is very much a holiday that is about family. And what is RAWF if not a family? So even without traditionally celebrating that holiday, this is a warm moment for the RAWF family as a whole.
I thought it was about tryptophan comas on the couch.
I mean, sure, if you don't just eat a full turkey on a normal Wednesday.
Fair enough.
But the turkey sandwich leftovers are my favorite part.
Love me a turkey sandwich.
I'm partial to the side dishes myself.
Oh yeah, which ones? Yeah, you've experienced Thanksgiving over here.
Yeah, I've had several Thanksgivings since I've come over here to work. I'm actually quite partial to all of the things that have cranberries in them.
Or potatoes.
Well, of course, I like the potatoes. I figured that were self-explanatory, and I didn't need to get into that.
Do you like the candied yams?
They're too sweet for me.
What about the oyster dressing?
Oyster.
The what?
Excuse me?
Folks put oysters in that?
Wait, none of you have ever had oyster dressing?
I've had it with chestnuts in. I've never had it with oysters.
Oh.
Sounds downright revolting.
No, it's really good.
Do that on purpose.
It's really good. It kind of comes out a little different, but it is what it is. It's still delicious. Can't believe you never had oyster dressing.
Comes out a little different, tastes a little different.
Everybody's so creative.
No.
Well, what about
I had to
you,
share a
Boss
locker
Man?
room with that man.
What's your favorite side dish?
Who?
You, Boss Man.
Oh, oyster dressing.
That is your favorite.
Yes.
I don't know that dressing is a side dish. It's a dressing. You put it on something.
Right, and you stuff your bird with it.
Well, doesn't that make it stuffing and not dressing?
Okay, fine. Oyster stuffing. Dressing. Whatever you want to call it. It's called both, actually. So
Don't you love when Maeve gets all nitpicky about nonsense?
Speaking of birds, I had the most ridiculous thing for Thanksgiving last year. Have you ever heard of a turducken?
Yes. Thanks to John Madden, I know all about him.
Is that when the Swedish chef has to go low so that when a monkey's flinging poo at him, he doesn't get hit?
See.
We'll go with that. But no, I had a turducken last year for Thanksgiving, and I were not entirely ready for that experience, but it was tasty.
Do you prefer your turkeys baked in the oven, or do you like them deep fried? Like that is seems to be the trend over the last few years.
Jesus, I
I
don't know who's worse, Americans or Scots for frying everything.
so I've never actually had a deep fried one, but everything I've read on it has told me that they're just better. Like, because one of the problems you have, especially with larger turkeys, is that it's really hard to keep them from drying out to get them all the way cooked through. And you do not have that problem with deep frying them.
Yeah, that's true. I personally think it's delicious when it's deep fried, but I also think it's delicious when the traditional way. But to each his own. What about you Paragon? Do you prefer your pickles deep fried or baked in the oven?
Well, if we're talking pickles, probably deep fried because everything is better when deep fried. Get a nice crispy breaded pickle, you deep fry that, perfection.
And then of course Maeve, she prefers fries. So
What?
well, that's what potatoes are when you deep fry them, basically.
Chips.
But yeah, first of all, the chips. Second of all, I thought we were talking about turkey.
Yes, we are talking about turkey.
I've never had a turkey. I've never had a turkey chip. That sounds strange.
What about turkey fries?
I I don't even want to think about that. Like what?
Um,
I
see,
mean,
I
I'm
mean,
you could
I'm
probably
I
make a
mean,
thinking.
solid like chili cheese fries with like ground turkey instead of ground beef. You could probably make that.
you could make turkey fries. They made chicken fries.
That's true. That's true. They do make chicken fries. I don't know if that would translate as well. Um, but I mean, potatoes are good anyway. I mean, you can fry them, you can boil them, you can
Put
bake
them in a
them,
stew.
put them in a stew. Um, yeah, potatoes are good just about every way. I can't think of a bad way to have a potato.
And just so you know, oyster stuffing for Thanksgiving is a classic side dish made from bread, oysters, and seasonings. Popular along the coast, especially in the South.
But you're neither from the coast nor the south.
Well, it could migrate to households in the Midwest if
I don't
occasionally.
think they were talking about Lake
People
Erie when
move.
they said the coast.
I don't know. It's just
Well, what about yourself, Destroyer? What did you have for Thanksgiving last month?
Knowing her, ammo.
I hope she didn't eat it.
tequila.
No, no, that checks out. I shouldn't have
That
corrected
checks
that.
out. I, might
No
not be
lies
a bad
detected.
idea.
And somewhere Pee Wee Herman is on a table dancing.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Should have Dan Levitan versus Randy in a suit match. Huh. I don't know that Randy actually has a suit.
I'm sure he's got a leisure suit somewhere.
Oh, you got a point there somewhere. One of them, yeah.
Spaghetti for Thanksgiving. I do purely love spaghetti.
Get some spaghetti in a Ziploc bag. You take it to the movie theater. You ask what their spaghetti policy is. You gotta love it. If my bestie was here, he would have popped for that.
And there's
But the
no
truth of the
accounting for
matter is,
taste.
Thanksgiving is more about the food. I mean, you could have pizza at Thanksgiving and still just have a bunch your family and friends around and enjoy the holiday. I mean,
I thought it were about yelling at the TV while the American football were on.
that's true. There is that, especially if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan. You do a lot of yelling at the TV. But
I can't imagine that you hadn't been yelling at your TV a lot this season, boss man.
oh, well, that depends on it depends on if we're talking about college
Oh,
or
your
NFL.
college football's been doing very well.
Yes, Yes, they
does it
have.
take away the sting from how bad the Raiders are doing?
Unfortunately, the last 4 years, my Thanksgiving weekend gets ruined by my college football team, and hopefully this is the year that stops.
Well, knock on wood. Although I did see an interesting statistic that adds a new level to your rivalry game. If you folks win, Michigan gets eliminated from the postseason. But if they win, you can't win the Big Ten championship.
Mm.
So it's like higher stakes than usual.
Mm-hmm.
See, yours truly is not usually a big college football fan, but I've got to say, with my Hoosiers this year, I've been on board.
Your
What
Hoosiers?
the heck is a Hoosier while we're here? Like, what does that mean?
Who's your daddy?
Or were you asking me? It basically just means somebody from Indiana.
The Indianans?
Yes. See.
Ain't that a thing?
It kind of dates back to an influential person in kind of constructing a lot of the early infrastructure of Indiana, a man named Sam Hoosier.
Ah, that makes more sense.
But yes, with my Hoosiers this year, I'm a little bit more on board with college football.
Well, they did good last year too.
That they sure did. As a person that is firmly embroiled in the Indiana University, Purdue University rivalry between each other, it was a weird dynamic shift around last year where suddenly Indiana is just our team, and it's strange how many people suddenly are off that Boilermaker train and on that Hoosier train.
But then there's your NFL team, and yeah, I feel the same way. And ironically enough, our two teams face each other this week.
And unfortunately, my team is going to sack your team about 6 times and win the game, getting a worse draft pick.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for.
Misery loves company, I'm told.
Look, they got to stack the odds. Look good this week for Shedeur. Otherwise, they're going to have no hope to look forward to.
He can't look much worse than he looked last week.
That's true, but people will throw that away and say that doesn't count if he comes out and looks good in the proper first start. And the people need. I don't know if I believe in the talent, but the people need the hope.
If he can't look good against the Las Vegas Raiders, I'm just saying. If he doesn't look halfway decent against us, then he's definitely in for some issues. Let's put it that way. At any rate, I wonder where RA is. He usually calls in. He can give it. We haven't had our history lesson for. Oh, ha! Speak of the devil.
Did he
You
really
summoned
just
him.
pop in right as you see?
He just did. Well,
Say
He
his
might have
name
been
and he
waved.
appears. I believe in the Redneck Avenger.
Who's hit the dirt, stealing my stare, 6-pack of engines, I don't fight fair, rattlesnake blood running through my veins, mess with the best, you'll be feeling the pain. I'm a renegade, born of ball, raised on rage, knuckles up, I set the stage, drinking beer and kicking pain, ain't no cage can hold my name, redneck avenger, don't need no crown, but you best believe I run this town. From back road bars to the square circle, there ain't no rules when I raise this hurdle. I don't tap out, I don't back down, you cry.
Ladies and gentlemen, the RA Redneck Avenger joining us. Evening, RA. RA?
Oh, doggone that daggone button. There we go. Button gets me again. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing good. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I've been better. I mean, I think my candidacy for sainthood is gained another notch watching or seeing that Arkansas Texas game. Damn it, man. That was just a rough go.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. Texas was supposed to be good.
Well, yeah, they were, and it just like I said, we our favorite defensive formation is the Swiss cheese line, and it's funny because we have the top stat producing quarterback in the country, and we're 2-8. Riddle me that one, Batman. The offense was running. They scored plenty enough points to win again, and then nope. But,
Do you have an NFL team? Is your NFL team doing any good?
I don't like the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't. I just don't.
All right.
Follow them. If I had a team, it'd been like the Raiders or the Steelers from the 70s. I mean, that's kind of whenever football broke down for me.
All right. Fair.
And, did have something absolutely wonderful happen last week. Because it's just something personal for me. They did the last drop for WWE 2K25, and they brought back the Junkyard Dog. When I was a kid,
They they what? They dug him up?
well, I think so, and they stuck some lag bolts in him and turned him digital. But yeah, so they're the Junkyard Dog in there. And whenever I was growing up and watching all the Mid-South wrestling, he was the 500-pound gorilla before before he went to WWE or WWF at the time, and it was just fun. 10-year-old me was just jumping up and down, excited. So that was awesome.
Yeah, JYD. He was something else in the South, especially New Orleans. In the New Orleans area, he was quite hot back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I mean, technically, everybody's pretty hot in New Orleans.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, he was something else, and then he went to WWE and became an attraction.
He was an attraction, but I don't think he ever won any of the titles.
No,
but it was still good. I mean, like at least they didn't do to him what they did to Dusty Rhodes. So
somewhere Big Van Vader stares in and cries.
And you should, but no, Big Van Vader is pretty awesome. But it's the first time I think they put JYD in any of them in any of the games. So that was a lot of fun. I got to sit there and put him against folks, and I think
a great idea.
Huh?
Let's go get a dime store stormtrooper helmet, cover it in bling, and make somebody wear it to the ring.
We could do that. That could happen. Did I ever tell you the story of Princess Billy May? Now, Elveka, you might remember it, you might not, because it was just a little blurb. Remember Pete Wall had his show. He kind of started off all that stuff. Remember Pete Wall?
Yes.
All right. Remember, like the first season, we all had our characters in there, and I made Walker and Texas Ranger for Walker and Texas Ranger, and he was in a couple of other things. And I remember the second season, he wanted to do Next Generation Wrestlers, and I wanted to put the boys in there. And he says, "No, they've been all over the DWS, so no, I'm not going to take them." I said, "Well, all right." Just had a little. I guess I had an epiphany because we were sitting there. I was building one of the normal fair redneck characters, and we were looking through moves, and we saw this move called the French Kiss. Yeah, and so I'm sitting there with Texas Ranger, and we were just sitting there, just looking there, and just make your skin crawl. It's like, wait a minute, I have an idea. So we made a 5'6", 145-pound wrestler, and if it was effeminate, we put it on there. I mean, like, the thing had fairy wings while it was fighting. Made it about as non-masculine as humanly possible, and sent him to Pete. And the backstory was that Princess Billy May was RA's sister's son, and she sent him to the Redneck Ranch so he'd learn how to be a man, because he was the son of a Chippendales dancer with Redneck Ranger's sister in a one-night stand, and blah, blah, blah. So he comes out there, and he is who he is. So RA tells him, it's like, well, I ain't gonna tell you who to be or how to be, but I'm gonna tell you this: if you're gonna be the way you are, you got one choice. You got a choice to make. You either choose to put up with a lot of shit, or you learn to fight. So of course he learns to fight. So I stick him in there at about 5'6", 145 pounds, and all the sequin stuff on there. So the little thing about the stormtrooper with sequins kind of brought this back up, but put him in there with a Rey Mysterio moveset baseline, and Pete liked to put them big old Viking fellas out there. Gronk, the Viking of Doom, or Grog. He liked all those big beefy characters. So put Princess Billy May in there, and Billy May kicked the shit out of 3 or 4 of his big Vikings, and it was amazing. So it was a lot of fun. Sorry, just brought back a good memory.
No, that's fine. And it sounds hilarious.
Oh, it was
some of that stuff's you could probably still go back and watch some of those matches on his YouTube channel.
Probably so. I mean, like, that'd be way, way, way back. But I don't think he didn't keep him on for very many shows. I mean, like, Pete had the people that Pete liked, and but he was good. He'd get other folks matches and stuff. But that one thing was hilarious, because he came off and did one of those double Phoenix things. And Pete's going, holy shit! It was worth all the effort just for that. But it was a lot of fun. So, all right.
So talk to me about Thanksgiving, all right? What's your favorite Thanksgiving tradition?
Yes, finally we had an American.
Shooting an animal. That's probably one of my favorite traditions. If I get a little deer hunting in, but what I really do like, it's gotten our family is they demand I cook a brisket. Somebody else do the turkey, and sometimes I'll do the turkey, but there always has to be a brisket. I made one where it was last year on Thanksgiving that there were a couple of vegetarians in the extended family, and they ate it and went back for seconds. So I like doing all the cooking. So
you're gonna have a big shindig over there in the ranch this year?
Yeah, we want to have us a big old shindig and roast a pig. Have a couple of turkeys. I like to spatchcock the turkeys. You know what I'm talking about with that?
You want, huh?
Have you ever heard of spatchcocking?
See.
Okay, yeah. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Is you take the turkey and you cut the spine out of it, and you turn it over, open it up, and smash it flat like you're giving it CPR.
And the best part is after you spatchcock the turkey, if you add a crab to it, kind of like a turducken, but with crab, it looks like the alien face hugger.
Nice. I'll have to try that. But get there and put a little marinade of white wine and some white wine, garlic, a little bit of those two things, and melted butter. Put that in under the skin, and just and then put it in the breasts and the thighs and stuff like that, and just let it slow smoke for. I usually let them slow smoke for about 8 hours, but you get it in there and you keep your keep a jar of water, like an old pickle jar, a little small one, stick it over on the side, and I put it in there and just let it go. And then you put some Cajun seasoning on it. That's one of the other things I like to do is I'll baste it with butter and then put the garlic, salt, pepper, Tony Chachere's or Slappy Mama, put that on there and just let it go. And that once it goes overnight, you can heat it a little bit and get it where it just literally fall off the bone.
I think thinking about this conversation, if we go back to the conversation we were having before we got here, I bet your redneck has an opinion about oven versus deep fried turkey. Or smoker turkey, to be honest.
Smoker turkey is the way to roll. But sometimes I'll take. This is something that I do believe in. Believe it or not, is once I smoke it and get good smoke rings in it, smoke it for a few hours, smoke it during the day, and then put the bird or the brisket, both if you've done that, in the oven at 160 degrees where it's barely killing the microbes, and just let it stay there overnight. You can tap it with a fork and it falls apart. So it's kind of a combination. I guess I'm more of a hybrid type person on that.
And you're from the South, so you've heard of oyster dressing, right?
Yeah. Yes. My uncle, this is way back when dinosaurs were on the earth. He was from Maine, and he would make a oyster dressing and stick that in there. Just like dressing, but you'd stuff oysters with it.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
See, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one.
No one else here believed this was a thing.
Yes, no one believed me. They were all looking at me like I had 3 heads when I brought up oyster dressing. It was one of my favorite side dishes for Thanksgiving.
Well, the only time you have 3 heads is whenever I've drank too much.
So in other words, almost every show.
Pretty much, yeah, almost. I hadn't drank enough.
He resembles that remark.
Yeah, somewhat. Plead the 5th, the statute of limitations may not have run out on that one. But yes, oyster dressing is a thing. When it's done right, it's actually really good.
Look, I can wrap my head around Lord Amadeus with 3 heads, but I cannot understand this oyster dressing thing.
Really simple.
Why don't you go spatchcock your pickle?
Oh. Yeah, you get you the injection on the turkey is the key thing. Get those spices in there. I like to do the Cajun garlic powder, a bit of white wine, and some melted butter. Get that injected in there a few places, and it goes well. And I believe in injection. I do that with the brisket too. The brisket recipe is classified, but there is butter involved in it, and I've used butter as kind of like the coagulator as far as for the rub, but I saw something that I would have never thought of in a million years, because apparently I've gotten on some sort of algorithm for food porn, and they had this thing where these people were using mayonnaise, and it kind of made a little bit of sense in that it's mostly vegetable oil and eggs and stuff like that. So I'm going to try that this year and see how it works out, where you just rub mayonnaise on it, then you put your spices all over it, and see if I can get a good bark on it. Because some people use that. Some people use mustard. If I'm going to use,
and I will tell you, the best grilled cheese sandwich you could possibly make uses mayonnaise on the bread instead of butter.
I have heard that. I've never.
It's amazing.
So you can vouch for it, O'Bacon?
Absolutely.
Are you going to take those tamales and do a little bit of a mayonnaise base before you throw it in the ground and cook on it? That way you keep your spices on?
Well, I hadn't thought of that. I could try that.
Maybe worth a shot. I know y'all got the best tamales you'll ever get. You won't buy them at a store. Where you get them from resembles a drug deal more than anything else, out of a trunk of a car. And, yeah.
See, you were looking for a 70-year-old abuela at the youngest.
Yes.
Out of the back of a 1969 Nova.
Yes. Yes, yes. You are absolutely correct. They will have the best.
Actually, that's a lie because no self-respecting Mexican would ever drive a Nova.
Well, it depends on what.
No, you understand? Remember, do you know what Nova means in Spanish?
Oh shoot, I may not.
Doesn't go.
Oh, yeah. Oh my,
Nova.
no bye. Gotcha. If you get one that pulls it out of the back of a '63 Impala,
Oh, yeah, there you go. That
there we
works.
go.
All righty. So if you don't watch NFL, what do you do during the day on Thanksgiving after you eat? What do you watch? Anything?
We may watch
Sleep.
Yeah, sleep. It probably is mostly it's a turkey coma. They may have it on TV, but I ain't watching it. I prefer it if there's a college game on, I'll watch that. I just don't care for professional ball. Seems like they kind of
All right.
lost their heart, and it's all mercenary. That's just my take on it.
College is getting that way now too, with the NIT deals and whatnot.
Yeah, it
You know-
is. It is. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Here's kind of I'm of two minds about that. One, you got the whole tradition thing going on, but there's also, they stopped making the NCAA football game on gaming systems, and I think 2013 was the last time they did it because they're using those kids' names, or images, and likenesses, and they didn't get to see a penny of it, and they didn't give permission. So there's pieces of that, and also if someone goes to college and whatever, they're paid under the table and they risk not getting to play anymore. What happens when one of them gets hurt? And I mean, like career-ending injury. You gone all that way, and if their name, image, or likeness commands a market price, you almost could put it under the 13th Amendment for them not to receive it, because the colleges and NCAA does not own them. And I think it's good that they are able to get a little bit of something, maybe a little bit of a nest egg as an insurance policy in case something happens to them. Because it does. It takes a split second and somebody's career is over. Did you ever watch Friday Night Lights, or did you ever read the book?
Yes.
You watched the movie. Did you read the book?
No.
I read that thing and before they made the movie, and strangely enough, that was my manager's senior season. What was focused on there, and I remember going through Dallas and the area, and they were making the big deal about Carver High and all this good stuff. But Permian had this guy. His name was Booby Miles, and
I'm sorry. Did you say his name was Booby?
yes, I don't know what his Christian first name was, but that was his name, Booby Miles, and he was this blue chip. Had the world at his feet running back that was the big star at Permian. Of course, another conversation could be had about how much pressure they put on these kids. But in a scrimmage game before the season started, he tore some ligaments in his knee, and it wasn't even a hit. It was he just hit the turf wrong, and his career is over. It was done. I mean, they shouldn't give NIL deals to high school kids, of course, but if you made it to college and had an injury like that pretty much ended his career, he would, he basically still lives in the same town, not doing, he's got kind of like a normal job, but he's got that broken dream of what if, and, I could have been in the NFL or yada, yada, but there are college kids like that too. And they shouldn't put themselves out there and risk getting nothing. I guess that's my point. Does that make some sense?
Yes and no. I mean, I get what you're saying, but there's also the flip side of that coin.
Yes.
Right.
spirit of competition and amateur athletics, and that's good stuff. I mean, it really is. I mean, look at the Olympics in basketball, and all the whole Cold War politics that went along with that before they put together the dream team. Because we kept telling them, like, you've been playing against you don't have the best basketball players in the world because we're playing against you with our best college kids. You haven't even seen the professionals. And then they let that loose and had the dream team come and dominate it. But in actuality, that actually spurred on a lot of people to have good careers. But I just don't want to see a kid get amped up and then injured and then left out in the cold. So, anyway.
Anyway, let's go back to talking about Black Friday. Not necessarily the pay-per-view that we do every year, but the actual Black Friday. I'm curious if anyone here has any interesting experiences with the day after Thanksgiving shopping related traditions of Black Friday. Have you ever gone out shopping on Black Friday, RA?
I tend to avoid that. I tend to avoid it just because I hate crowds, and that's about the worst crowd on planet Earth. I swear, if someone shoves me over and starts to pick a fight with me over a television, it's not going to be. It's not worth it. B, I might not react how they would like from how they would envision me reacting. I just avoid the rush, avoid the problems, and I stay out of it. I usually do my Christmas shopping about no earlier than December 20th.
What about you, Paragon?
You know, funny enough, I think that maybe my best Black Friday memory shows the complete lack of awareness that myself and the Opaque household have about just everything in the world in general. My favorite Black Friday memory is attempting to go to our local Walmart for just a standard shopping trip, not realizing that Black Friday was a thing and happening, and just our minds melting at what was going on, and thinking that something horrible must have happened somewhere in the world, and that people were going insane at this store, that there were never, why are there this many people here, what are we missing, what world event has happened where everything has gone astray. And we were genuinely very confused for the entirety of the trip. Yeah, we were like, wow, a lot of people must be in town for Thanksgiving, this is weird.
I had an interesting situation. Black Friday, that reminds me, I guess it was about 2 years ago. I was over by Fort Hood and made the mistake of, because I needed to buy some socks because I'd traveled down there and I forgot my socks. I was packing because it was kind of a hasty packing job. Went in there and got a pack of socks and heard this big kerfuffle going on. And then, he's got a knife. So they start just rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling towards the front of the thing. And I went across, tried to get some folks out the way, but they wound up where they were all right in front of me. It was about 3 kids. And I mean, the oldest one was probably about 20. And he started lifting the shirt, and he had a weapon. It was like, you do not want to do this. And the other guy his buddy was the one that's going to be chased. And the other guy with the knife started after him, and he took off running across there. And I told the guy with the gun, it's like, don't get into it. Get over there and get out the front door. So they went to the other front door, and there was one of the soldiers from Fort Hood. He was there with his family. He form tackled this guy and planted his ass, and that knife went skittering. But Yeah, my worst nightmare would have been for that other guy to cook off a few rounds across the Walmart. It's like, let's not do that. That's another reason why I don't like Black Friday.
Wait, it was a Walmart in Texas.
Yes.
Who didn't have a gun?
Well, yeah, there is that. We got him to get outside before he jumped stupid. So that was interesting. But that one guy with a knife just got his ass planted like the South 40. It was beautiful.
I saw a video recently, and I believe it was out of Texas, where some guy was robbing like a 7-Eleven and, thought he had everyone under control, heard someone in the back, turned around, and this old dude, swear to God, looked like Wilford Brimley in a cowboy hat. just was like, oh, you looked away from me. That's a mistake. I just grabs the dude, slams on the ground, kicks the gun away. like, yeah. That is a man who was not impressed with your gun.
Yep. That's a guy who's probably had more than one of them wagged in his face, too.
But, I mean, he literally looked like Wilford Brimley.
That is awesome. He kicked the diabetes out of
while he was slamming the guy, I wanted him to yell out, diabetes.
Oh, my.
Wait, go back one. No, wrong way.
What? Which one? Because I was just having it playing. Which one did you want?
There you go. You just leave it there. Little known fact that apparently the Destroyer posed for that before she cut her hair to the shorter length.
Don't
with me.
think so.
I don't think that's true.
Almost like Maeve.
It's not even vaguely true, but shh.
Oh, sorry.
What about you, Maeve? Have you had any experiences with Black Friday here in the States?
I mean, I've seen it happening, and it purely terrifies me. I'm a much bigger fan of Small Business Saturday.
Yep. Cyber Monday, yeah. And do most of my shopping online these days too. So, but I have gone out on Black Friday in the past. You want to know what Black Friday is like in Las Vegas? Oh Lord, please enlighten.
I can't. I don't remember.
Yeah, well, it was Las Vegas. Yeah.
I was like, are you even allowed to tell us? Isn't that breaking the whole, rule?
Yeah. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
See?
I can just imagine what Thanksgiving weekend's like in Thanksgiving. Anyways. Well, folks, has anybody got anything they'd like to talk about before we call it a night? Because I don't think we're getting.
How did Ohio State do? I probably missed that part.
Oh, we won.
Yeah.
We won without our three best wide receivers in the game.
He sounds so blasé about it. It's not like he's happy about it. Yeah, we won.
It was Rutgers.
Whatever.
It's Rutgers. Okay, we destroyed them 42-9. I think it was. Next week's the big one, though. Next week's one of the main reasons we are not having a show next week.
It's the big one.
How are you going to give up 9 points to Rutgers?
Pity.
Really?
It's the season for charity.
Hey, no. Next weekend is the big one. The game. Michigan.
I heard a rumor, boss man, that Michigan's talking about leaving the Big Ten. Is that true?
God could only hope. No, I can't say that. I can't say that. So
you just said it.
I did, but at the same time, that would be like having. I don't know. It wouldn't be right if Michigan went somewhere else. Wouldn't feel right.
No, it wouldn't.
I mean, but also, aren't there like 15 schools in the Big Ten now?
More than that now, isn't there? Like 6.
It's some absurd number that's much higher than 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not the
They
big...
play football for a living. They're not known for their math skills.
Yeah.
except for multiples of 7.
Yeah,
I mean, couldn't one argue that like 12 or 13 is just a very big 10?
No,
It's a 10 with extra. It's a big 10.
that is not how numbers work.
that's. But yeah, that's gonna be the game, and it's the main reason we're not doing a show next week.
Yeah, understandably, man. That's
Especially if we lose, and I definitely don't want to do a show next week.
there's that.
Hey, folks, tune in, and it's just 2 hours of boss men cussing up a storm.
That could happen. One thing great about that game is it doesn't matter what either team is ranked. All that crap goes out the window. Nothing but just vitriol, hatred, and destruction.
Yeah, well, that hasn't happened for a few years though. I have been to 4 Ohio State Michigan games in my life, and all of them had huge stakes.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you're alive.
Yeah,
Like the Iron Bowl with Alabama and Auburn. That there are people that get shot over that game, like people in houses arguing about it on a TV set. None of them going to set foot on either campus, but they get enough in them, and somebody will shoot another one. It's like, my God, stop it. But yeah, the Ohio State Michigan game is one game that I will watch. Especially
yeah, me too.
Especially since my brother-in-law is a big Michigan guy. He's from there.
Like, it is probably the most stressful day of the year for me.
Yep. And I find it interesting. Both teams have Civil War mascots. Did you know that?
Well, wait a minute. Michigan has a mascot?
Yeah, the Wolverines. And Ohio State Buckeyes did those both. The Buckeye Regiment and the First Michigan Cavalry was the Wolverines. But yes, the Ohio Buckeye Regiment had a Buckeye tucked into their caps so they would know who their people were.
I thought the Wolverines was that unit in the early 80s that fought off the Russian invasion.
That was them. That's who Michigan named themselves after. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Red Dawn.
Bunch of plucky young kids with rocket launchers.
Hell yeah.
Ohio's hockey team is also named after a Civil War thing.
Well, if it was the Buckeyes, yeah.
No, the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Oh, okay.
Wait, really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought Blue Jacket was like an insect.
No, it's a reference to the fact that Ohio sent more troops to the Union Army than any other state in the Union.
Wow.
There's like a whole outdoor play about it every year.
Right, it's because that many people wanted to leave Ohio.
Oh my Lord. But yeah. Had to throw a little history something in there.
Appreciate that. You're kind of like our resident historian.
He's also an X-Man.
Yes, he is an X-Man.
He's also a terrible father.
Yep. One of these days I'll tell you on an adventure that I had over the summer. Let's see. If you're up for it, I will tell you.
Hey, we're good. Go for
it. All right. I'm affiliated with a historic D-Day unit. And they asked, whenever they were putting the whole D-Day thing, a commemoration for the 80th anniversary together, they tasked us with finding a condolence letter from our unit. It was supposed to go on a statue in Picoville, France. But the statue is like this forlorn widow clutching a American flag to her chest, and that letter was in her hand. Went and talked to some folks in the unit, and had to locate the unit's archives because they weren't on site. And I did, and I got in touch with them and asked if they had that or if it even existed. 3 days later, their archivist sent a thing with it had a condolence letter, and the specific unit only had 2 battalions that were attached to another division that hit D-Day, and that's there was 2 battalions of 9, and so at complete random, we got a condolence letter from one of the guys that was on the D-Day landing, and accompanying it was it was a letter that showed where it told where the plot was where he was interred. So we go to the planning conference, and it's like, we're going, and we found the place, and it was an empty field because apparently that was a temporary interment spot. They sent the bodies to either the Normandy American Cemetery or the Saint-Mary-Glisse Cemetery, and or they shipped them home. So found out the guy that was there was shipped home, and he was buried in Del City, Oklahoma. Well, Texas Ranger and I went on a vacation. It was after senior year, right before he was going to start college, and it's like, we have a destination, and if we see something on the side of the road, like the world's largest ball of yarn, we're gonna pull off and see it. We're just gonna have fun. We're not gonna overschedule it. But went, saw the Grand Canyon, saw it on fire. It was interesting. Went up to the Four Corners and back down and through. Well, we were headed back towards Arkansas, and we decided to spend the night in Oklahoma City before we went back to finish the rest of the drive. Well, we get there, and I noticed we were by Tinker Air Force Base, and it was Del City, Oklahoma. So this was the last night of the whole vacation, and next morning we got up. It was like, I have to go see this. We found the guy's tombstone. We found his tombstone and took pictures and stuff. So that whole little random encounter thing, it was interesting. And RA's manager's is a stepfather. Don't ask how the generations wear out, but this guy that was in the ground was 2.5 months older than my stepfather, and he hit the beach in Normandy about the exact same age that Texas Ranger was. So it was a moment, and literally going around the world to find this guy, and found him, and that was a moment. It's good stuff. And if you ever get to find something and connect like that, go on it, because you might find yourself in a very rewarding adventure. But we found him. That was cool.
Nice. Very nice.
He was, let's see, kind of give specifics. For the letter was sent by his wife. The boy died whenever had just turned 19, about 3 weeks after his 19th birthday, because he was killed on July 3rd of 1944. So we started walking it backwards, and the unit left over for France in March and arrived in England in April. And then they did their train up. So this guy's birth date was June 18 of 1925. So what basically happened was he married this lady who wound up sending us these letters in 2000 before she passed. He was barely 18 years old whenever he got married, and his mother's information was on all the emergency contact stuff still. So his wife just married this guy, put him on a train, sent him. Whenever she put him on the train, it was the last time she ever saw him again. Kind of sad.
Wow.
But
That's not a downer at all.
no, you know what though? It really isn't so much in that there were prices paid for us to be where we are that none of us will ever see. And we're in the greatest country in the world, the freest place that you will ever be in. And it's not downer so much as it's a little humbling and something to give thanks for. Is that if those things hadn't happened, we wouldn't be sitting here on Riverside having this good time, good fellowship, and just enjoying the lives that we enjoy. So it's just good every once in a while to take pause and know that just remember that it was paid for with a price that was freely given for us to be able to enjoy our lives and pursue our happiness. So that's the overall thing, I guess. But it was nice. It was a good adventure that kind of rolled up on something that closed a loop. But we're lucky. So let's just all remember we're lucky.
Yes, let's all be thankful. Definitely thankful for what we have, because that's what Thanksgiving's all about, and that's just a few days away. I hope everyone has a happy and happy and safe Thanksgiving this year. Well, unless anybody else anything they'd like to discuss, I think we might just call it a night. Anybody? Paragon, any
Not I.
final thoughts?
I mean, I don't think that I could wrap anything up better than RA did.
All right. Griff?
No, I'm good.
Maeve?
Where do I get that basket of potatoes? I could always use some more.
That's good stuff.
L vacant, anything?
Nothing good.
All right. Well, folks, as I mentioned, we will not be having a show next weekend. We'll return here in 2 weeks' time, hopefully with maybe some news on when a possible timeline of when Unstoppable will be returning. We will try to keep you updated on stuff like that and talk more about RAWF history. And who knows, RA might have some more stories for us too.
Oh, I'll probably pull one out from somewhere.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could. So again, folks, please, for those of you who do celebrate Thanksgiving this Thursday, this weekend, please do it safely. Don't be responsible and have a happy holiday. We shall return in 2 weeks' time. And I can start putting on my Christmas decorations now.
No, not to the 29th.
No.
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
No.
You can put them up,
Yes.
you just can't light them.
Well, that's what I said. I'd put them up. I'll turn them on.
No.
I can turn them on Thanksgiving.
No.
You do talk dirty to it.
It is the day after Thanksgiving. You do not jump holidays.
Thanksgiving is a holiday.
Right. You don't jump holidays. Putting up Christmas stuff before Thanksgiving happens is jumping a holiday.
I disagree.
You're wrong. It's people like you why we're seeing Christmas shit in the goddamn stores at Easter.
Okay, that has nothing to do with me. Don't put that. Don't put that on me.
You and your kind. Jumping the gun, trying to get things going before it's the correct time.
Vacant, don't ever go into a Hobby Lobby. You'll lose your mind.
I wouldn't go into a Hobby Lobby anyway.
Well, sometimes you got to whenever you get a...
No, I really don't.
Okay.
I do got to say, though, the parade is my Thanksgiving. At least I like getting up and watching the parade.
That didn't sound right.
My favorite Thanksgiving Day parade memory was when Rick Astley rickrolled the entire parade.
That was pretty good. I do remember that.
That was beautiful.
I do remember that. That was really pretty good. All right. Well, folks, I thank you for joining me this evening. And for those of you listening on the replay, appreciate you listening to it as well. Do not forget that we have the trivia I have posted the link to the trivia in the Discord, the RAWFWU Discord. I'll post it several places. Post it again a couple times during the week, just to make sure everyone gets an opportunity to participate in the trivia quiz over the next couple of weeks. Everybody have a safe and happy holiday, Thanksgiving, and we will see you all back here in 2 weeks' time. For El Vacant, Mabel Hare, Redneck Avenger, Mortal Griffith, and the Paragon of Greatness. Say it, Paragon.
You stay classy, San Diego.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Hasta la bye bye.